is our first. Oh, thanks, Sean. And it is our first of 2024. On the agenda today, we have Bill Napolitano from OCPC. He's a resilience and sustainability planner. He's going to be discussing trails in the OCPC region. And accompanying him is also Amber Stearns from the Bay Circuit Trail. She's the Bay Circuit Trail coordinator with the Appalachian Mountain Club. And then we'll be discussing Bay State Bike Month, which is in May of this year. A couple bike and ped projects in the Old Colony region, discussion on bike and ped issues, and then go over next meetings, and then adjourn. So going to do things a little differently for introductions this month. A little icebreaker question. Just if you could state your name, your affiliation, and then most recent walk or bike ride that you went on and where. And I'll go down the list. I'll start. My name's Kyle Mowat. I'm a senior transportation planner with OCPC, and my most recent bike ride was at the Mattapoisett Rail Trail. Not in our region, but I'm down in Acushnet, so that's the closest to me. Let's go with Raisa.
Good afternoon, everyone. Raisa Kwame, Mass DOT. I recently walked to Seaport.
Nice. Go Chang. Your mic's not working.
I'm so sorry.
Pull it down. There you go.
My apologies. My last bike ride was at the Falmouth, the Silver Shiny Trail. It's been a while, so I will get back to bike riding when it's warmer.
Nice.
Thank you, Kyle.
Bill Napolitano.
Well, Kyle, I was kind of down in your neck of the woods. I was over on in Westport, walking around Horseneck Beach, the back routes and trails, and down around East Beach, just kind of surveying things down there.
Yeah, it's a nice area. Sean.
Hello, everyone. Sean Bailey, Senior Transportation Planner with the Old Colony Planning Council. Like Kyle, I do not live in the OCPC region. I'm down in Taunton, but the last walk that I took was over at Massasoit State Park here in Taunton or Raynham.
Andrew.
Hi, I'm Andrew Fidel. I'm the GIS manager here at OCPC. Last walk I took, I was out doing traffic counts with Kyle just the other day, and we discovered a trail in Bridgewater that we didn't know about yet. So I didn't get to walk very far down it, but it's going to go on our map soon.
Thanks, Andrew. Rob May.
Hi, Rob May, Director of Planning, City of Brockton. My last bike ride was my first bike ride in over 30 years. It was in Amsterdam, along the canals, in the dark, in the rain, and in mixed traffic.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks.
Amber.
Mine's not that fun. I'm Amber. I'm the Bay Circuit Trail coordinator. I live in Milford, so I was just on the Upper Charles Rail Trail recently, and that was nice.
Nice. Okay, next, Evan Sears.
Hey guys, I'm Evan Sears. I'm a planner with the City of Brockton, and the last place I went was GW Field in Brockton. I live very close to it.
Nice. Next, Stephanie.
I rode to work this morning from Brockton to the town offices here in Easton. I'm the Director of Planning and Economic Development for the town.
Yeah, when I used to live in Easton, I would see you all the time riding to work.
At that crazy intersection.
Yeah. All right, William Schliemann.
Hi, Will Schleman from Brockton PD. I'm a lieutenant here in our community education unit. I also head up the bike unit, bicycle unit here at Brockton PD. The last walk I did was out with my dog about 3 miles through the side streets of Franklin, where I live.
Nice. All right, Shane.
Hey, Shane O'Brien, town planner, town of Bridgewater. Last walk I went on was over the weekend. We checked out, I live in Taunton, so we checked out the World War II Veterans Memorial Trail in Mansfield that I guess they're doing some additional work on going down to Norton as well. But we didn't walk the whole way, but if you walk the whole way, you actually end up in Mansfield Center, so that's pretty cool. But we parked near the airport, so great little trail.
Nice, it's awesome. All right, next is Ray.
Sure. Last walk I went was last week in downtown Brockton, where I often walk. I go down Crescent Street, go up Commercial Street all the way to Court Street, and then back down Main Street, and then around the garage. It takes me about 20 to 25 minutes, and then back to Old Colony at the on School Street. So I've been doing that walk for like 15 years every time I'm in the office.
Thank you, Ray. And I think last but not least, Yolando.
Hi, Kyle. Hi, y'all. I'm actually walking around while taking this meeting. I'm in Brighton, doing some outreach. But yeah, the last bike ride I took was actually a couple of days ago from Brockton to downtown Bridgewater to grab just to be in that area. So it is possible to ride your bike around that area. Yeah, I'll hand it back off to Kyle.
Thank you. And I think I did miss one, Caitlin McCarthy.
Hey, my name is Caitlin. I am a new hire with AMC. My most recent walk was just about a half hour ago. I went for a nice stroll around Northampton, Mass for my lunch break. I am a newly appointed Trails Program Manager for Southern New England.
Great, thank you. Welcome.
Caitlin's my new boss, so she's popping in.
All right, thank you, everybody. It seems like everyone's staying active, which is good. So I think we can move on to the talk with Bill Napolitano and Amber Stearns. I don't know if I think Bill mentioned, Amber, that you have like a map to show. If you want to share your screen.
Yeah, I think Bill's going to talk first, and then I can share my screen after. Thanks.
All right, perfect.
I'll transition. I'll gracefully hand it over to Amber because she's got the map that's going to be fun. So I apologize, folks. I'm having some camera problems today. I don't know why. I was on an earlier meeting here at OCPC with Joanne Zygmunt, and I have maintained audio. So if it gets a little balky, please let me know. But it seems to be good. But I don't need any slides or anything right now. I'm just going to give you a fairly quick update on some of the things that I've been doing. I was actually involved in environmental and trails planning for 37 years at Southeastern Regional Planning and Economic Development District. And I retired briefly, my wife says for about 45 minutes. And then I came back to help Joanne and some folks up here with some projects. And I was always connected with trails in this area, in the OCPC area, through my work with the Taunton River Stewardship Council, who are the stewards of the wild and scenic Taunton River, which knows no planning agency boundaries because it goes all the way up and its tributaries go all the way up into the OCPC area. So over the years, I've actually had a lot of opportunity to work, especially in the Bridgewaters, a little bit in Easton, working a little bit in Avon with Bill Fitzgerald before he recently retired. So it's nice. It's all connected and you realize it. The quick updates, and I was really happy to see Stephanie on the call too. And hear the mention of the Mansfield trails, because what's been happening in the Taunton River for the last 32 years, actually, we've been trying to put together a 22-mile trail that goes all the way up from the Somerset Fall River area, all the way up into the Taunton area. And we always had plans to expand up into the Brockton area as best we could. Well, right now we have on-road in Fall River and in Somerset and in parts of Dighton. Dighton is also working to connect with the Sweet Knoll State Park. And I'm working with the National Park Service, DCR, and several other partners right now on a spur that's going to go along the old rail bed right through Sweet Knoll State Park. And one of the things about the work that we're doing on the Taunton River, we're also trying to combine the trail itself with canoe kayak opportunities to kind of make it a Blue-way, Greenway type of situation. So right now they've progressed to having plans, at least preliminary plans, engineering design for the 2-mile segment that's going to go from Pleasant Street in Dighton, which is part of the on-road, right through Sweet Knoll State Park, right up to the Bristol Agricultural High School. And after that, they're working on another segment to go north to Taunton. Meantime, Taunton has been working with the Gateway Cities and Parks program, Kurt Gertner, and they have engineering design and permitting, I believe, and they're on the tip to do a longer segment that's going to go right up along the waterfront, right through the Taunton Waterfront Park, the linear park, and then hopefully connect to 138, where they've just done some road work there to create bike lanes. Obviously, most of the trail is going to be multi-purpose trail, and it's a combination of on-road and off-road. But hopefully, we're going to, facilitate those connections. I'm still working with that, like I said, through my affiliation with the Taunton River Stewardship Council, and we hope to get a good chunk of that done, maybe by 2028. I think that's the tip year for the Taunton section. One of the things, like I said, I was encouraged to hear was people being on the Mansfield Trail, because the Mansfield Trail itself was done quite a while ago, and it goes from the border in Norton and Mansfield all the way to the train station, the MBTA train station in the downtown. But back in 2013, I'd also started working with the town of Norton, along with Jackie Jones from Serpent, and they finally got that trail segment built. It runs right along the utility easement and actually goes to the Taunton Industrial Park. So we're trying to find a way to get into the Taunton Industrial Park and get out to Bay Street and connect it to Route 138. But this also affords us the opportunity to go into Easton. And I've always seen maybe connecting Mansfield, Norton, and Easton and the train station, which would be a great thing to do, and maybe going up through Easton into Brockton. So that's the way I've been looking at it, for the last 37 years. But now coming to OCPC, it gives me a chance to work on another one of my great passions that I worked on exclusively, I'd say, through the Taunton River Stewardship Council, and that was the Bridgewater Trails. I'm sure some of you have dealt with Kitty Doherty from the Natural Resources Trust of Bridgewater. She's ubiquitous all over she's been all over the place, West Bridgewater, East Bridgewater, and Bridgewater. And she had a great vision for a project that she called Bridging the Bridgewaters. And it was for multi-purpose trails as well as canoe kayak along the Setauket town river called the Nuckatusset, tying into the Taunton, the main stem Taunton, and obviously connecting on ground the 3 Bridgewaters. Well, right now we're working on the first phase of that project that actually had its origins back in 2004 when Kitty was working with the state to preserve a portion of land on the state correctional facility in Bridgewater. Many years ago, they used to have a dairy operation. They were pretty much self-contained. They'd produce food for the institution itself. But when the dairy business kind of went the way of all things, Kitty worked with the state legislature, predominantly Mark Pacheco, to get 425 acres of the old state farm that was on the Bridgewater Corrections Facility protected under Article 97 of the Massachusetts State Constitution. So it's conservation land in perpetuity. Well, you fast forward to 2020, and we're still working on trying to do something with that land, make it more accessible to folks, put a trail on there. We'd always had some conservation ideas for it. So Kitty worked with the legislature again, and we got a 10-foot conservation easement for a trail that has since we've expanded it to 50 feet. And it's going to go along the wild and scenic Taunton River, but it also connects to an EOEA, Office of Boating and Fishing Access, canoe and kayak launch facility on Summer Street in Bridgewater that is now being renovated. It's going to be made totally accessible. There's going to be car top canoe and kayak parking there. It was kind of a, catch as catch can back in the day, and the bank wasn't always the most friendly to launch from, but that's all going to be remedied. And right next to this, through a wooded section on the prison property, we're going to put in a trailhead with parking, probably for about 9 cars, and then run the trail for 2 miles along the Taunton River to the north, and have another trailhead at the terminus of that. And it's really involved. We've hired Conservation Works as consultants, Pete Westover and Dick O'Brien, who've been in the trail building business for decades. They're doing a great job, and it's going to be a really unique trail in this region. It's going to involve several hundred feet of bog bridging, at least 7 bridges, and just a walk through nature. It's going to be a walk through the woods along the edge of the farm field that's still there, that's being hayed, it's actively being hayed. So it'll provide a really unique natural resource and hiking opportunity for folks. We're also going to have information kiosks there, but not kiosks, they're posts, and they're going to be accessible. I think we're going to have Braille, audio, and other features. Part of the trail will be accessible. Some of it obviously won't because of the wetlands. There's a lot of wetland streams, the whole bit. But the thing that's really making this whole project go is the partnership. It started out with the Natural Resources Trust of Bridgewater. The town of Bridgewater is involved. The Taunton River Stewardship Council is involved. Old Colony is working with us. There's a developer who's adjacent to the trail. He's pledged financial support to it and has been very involved. We got now our partners from the AMC. I'm going to turn it over to Amber in a minute. We have the Lions Club, the Rotary, the Scouts. Bridgewater State University has been fabulous hosting the trails meetings. So the whole idea of bridging the Bridgewaters, I think, is going to come back. And we had a meeting this past Friday, and representatives from the towns of East Bridgewater and West Bridgewater were both there. And we're all talking very actively about how we can tie in our trails and our water features. I know the Taunton River Stewardship Council had also given the town of West Bridgewater a grant to develop Pratt's Landing through an Eagle Scout project. And it's beautiful. They have a beautiful floating dock that they put out. So between that and the Summer Street feature, we do have a canoe and kayak. We're looking for another one along the way. But that's pretty much where we are right now. And I know we're going to continue meeting. We have monthly meetings on the project. We have regular updates from the consultant. And again, one of the other, obviously the key partners is the Department of Corrections. And they've been great to work with as well. So between the legislature, the Department of Corrections, and all the other partners I just mentioned, we are motoring on this. And the trailhead construction is going to begin, I believe, late spring, early summer, and go into the fall. We've also gotten funding from a multiplicity of sources. We have Mass Trails grants. We have Field Pond Foundation. We have the developer who's kicked in some money, the Taunton River Stewardship Council, Community Preservation. So we've been, Sheehan Family Foundation. So we've really been digging around to try to get that and to get matched. We have a lot of bodies out there who are willing to come to meetings and help us with the construction when it happens. So stay tuned. And probably one of the most exciting partners that we've met most recently has been Amber Stearns, who's been coming to our meetings. She's with the Appalachian Mountain Club, and like she said, she's the Regional Bay Circuit Trails Coordinator. Now, I know, again, in the OCPC region, Hanson has worked with the Bay Circuit Trail in the past, Kingston, Plimpton, but and the Bridgewaters too. But we have a chance to really revisit things, forge new connections, and create new partnerships through Amber and others who may be willing to come in and join the effort to connect our region. So I think what I'll do right now is I'll turn it over to Amber, and she can fill you in on what she's doing. And like I said, she can pull her map up.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah, I'll stop my share so you can share, Amber.
Thanks. Okay, so first of all, thanks, Bill, and thanks for having us today. I'll keep it relatively short. I really just want to come here and talk to you guys about the Bay Circuit Trail, and I want to introduce myself and just put the BCT back on your radar in case it's fallen off or you're unaware of it. So I'm assuming most people know what the BCT is. That's your field of interest. But for those who might not, Bay Circuit Trail is 230-ish mile multi-use trail. It starts on the North Shore at Plum Island, loops out around Greater Boston to the Framingham area, and then cuts in south towards Kingston Bay. So your region it's going through: Easton, the three Bridgewaters, Hanson, Pembroke, Kingston, Duxbury. A good portion of it, probably about a third. And the Bay Circuit Trail, at least my job relating to it, is to facilitate all things BCT. And when I say all things, I mean all things. I am trying to talk to everyone who's been involved with the Bay Circuit Trail pretty much ever. And I'm trying to network. I'm trying to get everyone involved in the Bay Circuit on the same page. There's been some stop and go movement with AMC's BCT leadership in the past few years. I'm the third coordinator in as many years. And I think it's been frustrating for a lot of the volunteers who have been involved because it has been so many fresh starts. I'd like to be here for a while, and I have some big goals associated with that. In particular, revitalizing all of the connections that are directly involved and indirectly involved with the Bay Circuit Trail. And I think it's too much to talk about the BCT as a whole. So I think it's a better place to start by giving you a snapshot of the Bay Circuit in the form of the Bridgewaters. So you can see here, actually just confirming, you guys can see this map. I'm going to assume that's a yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, sorry, I can't see any of you guys in the corner. So this is a map of the Bay Circuit, and it's in Bridgewater, and this ties into what Bill was talking about with the Bridging the Bridgewaters initiative that Kitty Doherty and Natural Resources Trust of Bridgewater have been focusing on for a while. Their concept and goal is to bring as many interconnected trails in the three Bridgewaters together as possible. If you see my mouse on here, the Old State Farm Trail is going to be down here in this corner by Sumner Street. We've got Bridgewater State University right in the center here. BCT is this nice red line through here. And then we've got a couple of different open space parks in this little triangle, plus the two rivers that Bill mentioned, the Setauket and the Nuckatusset rivers, as well as the Taunton Scenic River. So that's a whole lot of different blue and green trails that are coming together, right? And so the Bridging the Bridgewaters initiative is to bring those together for the passive and active recreation opportunities, as well as the community health benefits that will come from that, and finding alternative modes of transportation aside from vehicles, you know, climate mitigation, trying to get people more outside, just all of these things coming together into one beautiful basket. And the BCT is running pretty much right through this initiative. You can see we've got a big gap right here in the Bay Circuit. There are 3 substantial gaps in the trail so far. This is one of them, probably the smallest. And it's been an ongoing challenge to try and bridge that gap for 20 plus years. I'm not super into all the history on that yet, but I'm sure I'll be filled in relatively soon at a meeting. But I'd like to look at some alternative ways to bridge this gap and reconnect the trail. And I think a beneficial one that would tie in with the Bridging the Bridgewaters initiative would be to take the trail through these smaller open spaces, right? Reroute it around this big gap that's had landowner disputes. There's National Grid land on there, MBTA land. It's been a long-term challenge. And so I think it might be time to start looking at this challenge from a different angle, bringing it in with the blueways and the greenways and connecting the area. So I think this snapshot of the BCT in terms of Bridgewater, this encompasses what the whole trail looks like right now. It's this big throughway that's connecting so many different local trails and opportunities, right? This trail is primarily hike and bike oriented, but it needs a little TLC. It needs some promo. It's been called the Bay Circuit Trail, or the Bay Secret Trail, for a reason. I applied for the job in August, and that was the first time that I'd heard about it, and I live within 20 minutes of it. And I'm an avid hiker. I love being outside. You'd think it'd be something that I know about. Bay Circuit Trail, my goal right now is to find all of these connections and to bring as many folks in to help promote the connections and, you know, get people involved in trail maintenance and volunteering and actually using the trail. Good examples of these connections, we have the East Coast Greenway, which is a bike route that runs from Maine to Georgia, right? And this overlaps with the BCT in the Boxford region. There's Mass Central Rail Trail that's going to run straight through the center of the state. That's overlapping with BCT in Wayland Weston area. We have the Border to Boston Trail in the northern section. We have lots of different rail trails that are overlapping with BCT segments. The BCT is accessible by MBTA bus stops as well as commuter rail stations. I mean, you can drive there. You can get there through local link trails. I live in Milford. The Upper Charles Rail Trail is like a mile away from connecting with a certain section of Bay Circuit. There's just so many places that it could use enhancement and encouragement and appreciation. And so I guess what I'm here to say is just like, I want you guys to know that I am around and I'm available. If you have any projects, any concerns, any problems, any ideas regarding the Bay Circuit Trail or its greenway, anything that's in your region or your purview that you want to talk to me about or get rolling, I'm here to listen. I am the only one doing this right now. I have the AMC behind me, but I'm the only one fully focused on Bay Circuit Trail. So it might take me a little while to parse through any ideas or comments, but I would love to chat with people. And I really just want to expand the network of Bay Circuit and get people excited about it again, because I'm here for the long haul. And I think this BCT needs a little TLC too. So I don't know if you guys do questions on these things, but that's all I have for you right now. So thanks.
Rob May posted in the chat. He was just asking if the Bay Circuit Trail is all off-road.
It is not. I think about 65% of it is either on dirt or rail trail, and the other 35% is sidewalks or roads. So there's a lot of work to be done with rerouting and trying to get it as protected as possible.
Good to know. Ray, you have your hand raised?
Yes. I just wanted to bring up a portion of that. I think it's the Bay Circuit Trail in Duxbury.
Mm-hmm.
But there is another major trail, the Salt and Stall, but I think it's the Bay Circuit Trail. Now, we did a road safety audit, and I apologize because I'm trying to remember what intersection it was, but there was a small sign that said Bay Circuit Trail. And like you said, you know, a lot of people don't realize it's there at this intersection. So it can use some love, as you say, like just like signs, you know, showing that this is there's a trail here and this is part of the Bay Circuit Trail. It was on a road. It was at an intersection. You guys from OCPC can help me. We do so many road safety audits. I think it was in Duxbury at an intersection. It might have been Kingston.
It might be Kingston. I've heard of a couple maintenance issues there, but I will share my contact info with you all. And then if you have these things to tell me, please send them my way. That'd be great.
Yeah. One of the comments was that to like signage, a wayfinding, so people can use the trail more.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. I'm also, the cool thing is I get to hike the trail in April. So I'm going to be cataloging as much of this information as I can find as well. Like where it needs that extra support, where there's problems, all the directional issues. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll try to look it up and find it. Yep.
Please.
I was going to say, one of the other things that we're going to do too is the Old State Farm Trail and the Bridging the Bridgewaters. We're working with Bridgewater State University, and there's going to be a whole web page on this, including a story map and interactive maps. So working with Amber in partnership, we'll always have access to things like that. And like Amber said, please comment, because the whole idea is to build things better, add more information to this page, the information page, and to create new partnerships. There's a whole bunch of possibilities out there.
Yeah, story map sounds like a great idea. Yeah.
Shane?
Hey, so I work for the town of Bridgewater, and I obviously noticed that there's the gap between us and East Bridgewater to connect this. And just kind of on our end, I would like to do as much as we can to kind of connect that through our end, whether it be through High Street, up to Bedford Street, or a better solution to get to East Bridgewater to have a real connection there. I know that we're doing work over at the Stiles and Hart Conservation Area, as well as I think the town is looking for a grant to actually, I think we purchased that area, but a grant to create a parking area around there as well too, off of 18 for access to the park. So happy to share my contact and happy to assist in any means to, I guess, connect the Bridgewaters, or bridge the gap, bridge the Bridgewaters.
Please, thank you. We're hosting a meeting, I think at BSU in the first week of May, where we're going to bring as many trails folks from the three Bridgewaters in to share knowledge. So I can send you an invite for that if you're interested in attending.
Please do.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Great. Sean, I see your hand.
Yeah, just wanted to go back to Ray's point. The intersection you were thinking of, Ray, was Route 3A in Duxbury at Oak Street and Park Street.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Route 3A, Park Street in Duxbury?
Yes. Yeah, Parks, plural.
Okay.
And then that's on the southbound side, and then the street on the northbound side is Oak Street.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, I was just trying to look for it. Yeah. That was in Duxbury, right? Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Perfect.
So Amber, you said you hiked the trail. You're hiking the whole like 200 plus miles.
Yeah, I get to do it in April. I have 2 weeks allotted, so I'm pretty much going to be running.
Jeez, wow.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Awesome though.
Yeah. If anyone wants to come hang out with me and or give me a ride somewhere, that would also be awesome.
I actually live on one of the road sections of it in East Bridgewater.
Andrew, careful what you tell me, Andrew. I'll show up on your doorstep.
You can park in my driveway, all right? That's it.
Thanks. That's good enough. All right, all good?
Yeah, I think we're good. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is
Thank
great.
you.
Great
Also,
info.
this is a side note, but Kyle, I was looking at your thing on the website, and I also went to Westfield State GPS department. So
Did you? Sean did as well.
I did as well, yeah.
Oh, no way. That's awesome. Just little connections.
2010.
I was 2013.
2022.
Wow.
I'm brand new at this.
There's a little bit of a gap there.
Kyle, you shouldn't have brought that up.
Just a little bit.
That's okay. Sean, happens to me all the time. I have people working with me now. I have sneakers older than them and gym shorts older than them. So it's it gets worse.
Well, thank you guys for having us today. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Thanks. Carry on.
All right. So I'm just going to talk quick about Bay State Bike Month, which is coming up in May. So in 2023, last year, there were almost 200 events in more than 70 communities across the state. And we partnered with Brockton Area Transit and the Brockton Police Department. And the mayor of Brockton attended, and we did a group ride out to Massasoit Community College and then back to the BAT Center. It was well received. You can see the picture there from the event. So we're looking to have that same event this year and maybe we're looking to have probably max 3 events. So if any of the towns are interested in hosting an event, we're more than happy to partner up. And yeah, it's coming up quick. So Mass Bike, they have a sign up on their website, a whole calendar. So we can put the event up there and promote it through OCPC. Yeah, so if you think of anything, if you want to get involved, you can email me or give me a call. Some of the events that can take place, there's a bike breakfast, a bike count, which I don't know if anybody's done this yet. I haven't heard of anybody doing that event, but we did the group ride, and then there's also a bike rodeo, which is usually for kids to learn important bike safety and bike skills. So yeah, if you think of anything, just give me a shout. And now Sean's going to discuss some projects involving bike and ped in the OCPC region.
Yes, thank you, Kyle. These 2 projects are projects that are listed on the state's highway project website. The first one is number 612269, improvements on Foundry Street, Route 106 and 123 in the town of Easton. This project is in the preliminary design phase, and this proposed project limits a span of approximately 6,000 feet, beginning at the intersection of Foundry Street, Robert Drive, and Eastman Street, and ends at the intersection of Foundry Street, Bay Road, and Depot Street. This project will consist of construction of a shared use path on the south side of Foundry Street and a sidewalk on the north side. It'll also involve stormwater system improvements, replacement of 3 culverts, traffic signal installation at the intersection of Foundry Street and Poquonticut Avenue, pavement resurfacing, and the installation of MUTCD compliant signs and pavement markings. And then the other project is number 612529, improvements on Forest Avenue from West Street to Breer Street in the city of Brockton. This project is also currently in the preliminary design phase and will consist of improvements with bicycle accommodations and upgraded pedestrian infrastructure, plus geometric improvements at the Forest Avenue and West Street intersection, potentially including installation of a traffic signal or roundabout. And I do not see Barbara LaChance on this meeting, so I believe this will be it for the project updates.
Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
So I do have a couple events coming up that I'll highlight. Safer to School, they're hosting a spring webinar for new tools for schools. That'll be on Tuesday, April 23rd at 3 p.m. It's an hour-long webinar. It's providing an overview of new tools and resources developed this school year by the Safer to School program for individual schools, school districts, and municipalities. I provided the registration link. I'll send this out to everybody on the meeting today. And then Mass Bike, they're having a federal advocacy and national bike summit recap webinar. That'll be on Monday, March 25th, which is next Monday at 12 p.m. You can join and learn about Mass Bike federal advocacy and some of their learnings from the National Bike Summit. And if nobody has anything else, just the next meetings are June 18th, September 18th, and then December 18th of this year. Bill?
Yeah, Kyle, I had one thing. I got a notice from American Trails today about the ATIP funding. It's Active Transportation Infrastructure Investment Program funding. And Rails to Trails Conservancy is going to have a webinar on how to access the funding and eligibility on March 25th at 1 p.m. And it's going to be good to, for communities interested in building on existing infrastructure for walking, biking, connectivity, recreation, and safer transportation alternatives. I can send that to you if you want to send it out to the group.
Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, send it to me and then I'll send it out to everyone.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think that's it. Does anybody have anything else? I see Ray in the chat. He said he's emailing the RSA to Amber from the intersection in Duxbury. All right, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Thanks,
Bill
guys.
and Amber. We'll see everybody in June.
Thank you. Take care.